Hey everybody, I wanted to drop in to just give some budgeting and finance tips as we wrap up the end of the year and we go into 2026. It is December 2nd and we're getting ready to go into the holiday season, so you probably already have your holiday spending all planned out. But let's talk about a few things that you can do to have a successful start to 2026. Now, before I give any kind of finance advice, I always tell folks that the very first thing that you have to be willing to do in order to start the process of improving your finances is adopt the mindset that you can do it and that it can be done. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, understand that Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say. So you're going to take your time and do small steps. Even the smallest, most simplest thing will help you to get to where you want to be as far as your finances. So now that we are nearing the end of the year, really what you want to do first is kind of take inventory of where you've spent your money. So there's a template that I have where I keep track of how much I've spent. So at the end of the year, now that we're in December, pull up your bank statements online. You can usually download like an Excel file and just pull down a report of everything that you spent, like your credit card statements, do all that, and then categorize everything based on like what it is. So if it's, food or restaurants or, rent or, mortgage, whatever your basic expenses are, try to categorize them first. And so once you do that, take a look at where you are. Does everything look normal? Did you spend more on, hair and nails than you expected to, or more hanging out with your friends than you anticipated? Did you spend more on other extras like outside of your regular bills that you're expecting to pay? So once you've had a chance to take a look at that and you've categorized your spending, think hard about what you can cut. So I can give you an example of something that I cut a few months ago that I thought I couldn't live without, that I am living without. So that would be my Hulu plus live TV that came with Disney and ESPN. I was paying that $93 a month, and I don't really watch TV. So when I canceled it, at first I thought, wow, I'm really going to miss that, but I don't miss it. It's been a couple months. I don't miss it. I still don't watch a lot of TV. So I'm sure that there are a lot of those types of things that you can remove from your budget. A lot of us have a lot of hidden things that we pay for that we don't realize that we're paying for. So once you've established that, once you've gotten an idea of what your expenses were for the year, again, obviously identify things for cutting. Okay, you want to cut the things that are not necessary. Do that first and reduce expenses. Once you've done that, the next step is, what can you do with all this newfound money? Maybe, like for me, it's that extra $93 a month. Well, guess what I decided to do with that extra $93 a month? I decided to put that into my high yield savings account. I'm not spending it anymore. So you can do that. But the first step is always to identify what you have first, because if you don't know what you're spending, then you won't know how you're doing. A lot of us are not keeping a budget. Next, if you are working and your company offers any kind of retirement plan like a 401k, contribute to your 401k. This is probably one of the biggest things that I see people not do that can help you, especially if it's a pre-tax plan, because you're actually going to save on your taxes by contributing to your 401k. So contribute to the 401k, and if you can, you want to always try to contribute to the point where your company will match. So some companies will tell you how much they're going to match. The company that I work for, they have a pretty nice match. I think it's like up to 7%, which is really good. So that means you want to match, you want to contribute to where you match so that you get free money from your company. Also, take a look at your HSA. Does your company offer an HSA, which is a health savings plan? That's another way for you to save money to use for co-pays and other medical expenses. That's also a tax preferred account, similar to a 401k in that it's pre-tax dollars. And so long as you use it for medical expenses, then you don't pay taxes on that money. Other things that you can do is once you've established your budget, determine an amount that you can save every month, no matter how little it is. It could be just as little as $20 a month or $30 a month or $20 a pay, and segregate that out and have automatic savings going into an account. If you can, open up a high yield savings account, because those accounts tend to pay more interest. Your account is going to earn more interest. So one of the places where I have a high yield account, I actually have two. I have one with Capital One, and I also have one with E-Trade. And I do automatic savings. You can do a percentage of your pay. Maybe it's like 10% or 5%, or maybe you want to do a dollar amount. And it doesn't have to be a huge amount, just a little bit every now and then, every month, as long as you do it consistently. Super, super important. The other thing that's really important in terms of managing your finances is being aware of your debt and how much you use every month. So I know a lot of people don't like credit cards, and they say, oh, credit cards are terrible. No, it's not the credit cards that are terrible. It really is it's the way that we use the credit card. So it's not the card itself. So my number one rule is never charge more in a month that you're not able to pay off in the month or within like 2 months. Do not charge enough on your card and you're paying that off for 4, 5, 6 months, unless it doesn't have interest, and that's a whole nother story. But just in general, when you use your credit cards, you want to make sure that you are paying it off every month or within 2, maybe 3 months tops. Now, this is going to be contingent on what your interest rate is. I have really good interest rates on my cards. I don't maintain balances from month to month, but I had to work to get where I am in order to be able to do that. And I also live below my means. That takes me on to the next one. Really assess where you are. Are you living above your means? A lot of us are living beyond our means, and some of it can be controlled and some of it cannot be controlled. I'm a person who lives below my means, but I'm very comfortable. So for example, I don't have a car payment. I haven't had a car payment in probably, what years? It's probably like 12 or 13 years. I live in a home that's less than what I could afford. I could probably now buy a much bigger house, but I've decided to live in a smaller house in a more modest neighborhood, and so on and so forth. I make my own lunches. I don't do a lot of excessive spending on, clothes, hair, all the excesses that sometimes can add up. But I do still have a good life. I go on vacations and do all the things. So it's all possible. You just have to really take a look at where you are and be serious about looking at that list of expenses, cutting things. And in some cases, because I know I hear this a lot, people say, well, maybe it's not that I'm spending too much. Maybe I'm not making enough money. So if that's the case, it may be time to look for a side hustle. For years, that was my thing. I had my day job and then I had a side hustle. So now I still kind of have the same thing going on. I have my own business that I do on the side, but I also work full time. So again, the goal is to start somewhere and to start small, but to just start. So don't be intimidated about getting your budget in order and going into 2026 strong with your good finances. And if you have any questions, or do you have any good budgeting tips that you use, feel free to comment and like and share this video so that I can show up on your FYP. Thank you. Bye.